started quoting verbatim some messages from my machine. He started laughing, and I said, "Why are you laughing?" And I said, "You've obviously hacked my phone, and if you do anything with this story," because they were obviously very private conversations about issues we were having as a couple, and I said, "Then I'll go to the police." And he said, okay, yeah, we did hear it on your voice messages, I won't run it.
Well, Sky's Rhiannon Mills is here to tell us more. Does this widen the allegations and the investigation then, Rhiannon?
Well, certainly it is interesting tonight. Obviously, in the past, any phone hacking allegations have been against the News of the World, those lists that Glenn Mulcaire had in his notebooks. But this does appear to widen the issue out. There have been mutterings ever since we've been talking about the phone hacking scandal about whether it was going on in other parts of Fleet Street. And this certainly appears to be one of the first pieces of evidence that it may have been going on. Now, we have to stress that the senior journalist that Heather Mills talks about is not Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan was editor at the Daily Mirror at the time. However, this message that Heather Mills does refer to does seem to relate to one that Piers Morgan mentioned in an article in the Daily Mail back in 2006. He said in that article, at one stage I was played a tape of a message that Paul had left for Heather on her mobile phone. It was heartbreaking. The couple had clearly had a tiff. Heather had fled to India and Paul was pleading with her to come back. He sounded lonely, miserable and desperate, and even sang "We can work it out" into the answer phone. Now, it's also important to stress that Piers Morgan, despite mutterings that have been going on the likes of Twitter, has denied that he knew anything about any allegations of phone hacking that may have been going on at the Daily Mirror.
So what happens to this information now, then?
It's going to be really interesting to see what happens next. At the moment, the Met Police investigation is very much focusing on the News of the World, those details that they've had from Glenn Mulcaire. Going to be very interesting to see whether they also pick up on this information and take that forward as part of their investigations. Maybe also we should stress this does relate to a phone call that happened 10 years ago. Also, Heather Mills has had a rather turbulent relationship with some of the papers in the past as well. But also Trinity Mirror tonight, they are saying that our position is clear. All our journalists work within the criminal law and the PCC Code of Conduct.